So Robert Hur is the special prosecutor who investigated Joe Biden. We now have the transcript. The media is putting a wild spin on Joe Biden's memory. He did not remember the year his son died. It came up in the transcript. He remembered the day when pushed, but he did not remember the day that, or the year that Beau Biden died. He had to be reminded multiple times. Not only this, this is from Alex Thompson, a series of tweets you'll find in the show notes today if you're a subscriber. He's the national political correspondent at Axios. Biden repeatedly had to ask for help remembering dates. The lawyer stepped in. When did he announce for president? In 2019, couldn't remember it. If it was in 2013, when did I stop becoming vice president? Was I still vice president in 2009? Donald Trump, he thought, got elected in November of 2017. Twice on the same day, Joe Biden had to be reminded what a fax machine was and remind him of a fax machine. When talking about the years 2017 and 2018, Biden said, quote, "Remember, in this time frame, my son is either being deployed or is dying." And so what was happening, though, what month did Beau die? Oh, my God, May 30th. And then the White House pointed out it was actually in 2015 when Beau died, not 2017, 2018. Biden's team noted he had excellent recall in several parts of the interview and argued the missteps were exaggerated and cherry-picked, but that's not the case. The full exchange about Beau Biden's death was in 2015. When talking about 2017 and 2018, Biden talks about Beau being sick or deployed. That's actually not good. And then there is Hur's testimony himself. This is Robert Hur, and describing, to begin with, his opening before Congress today.
My team and I conducted a thorough, independent investigation. We identified evidence that the president willfully retained classified materials after the end of his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. This evidence included an audio-recorded conversation during which Mr. Biden told his ghostwriter that he had, quote, "just found all the classified stuff downstairs," end quote. When Mr. Biden said this, he was a private citizen speaking to his ghostwriter in his private rental home in Virginia. We also identified other recorded conversations during which Mr. Biden read classified information aloud to his ghostwriter.
And it goes on from there. He wants to justify as well what his task was, because this gets to the characterization of Joe Biden's memory.
My task was to determine whether the president retained or disclosed national defense information willfully. That means knowingly and with the intent to do something the law forbids. I could not make that determination without assessing the president's state of mind. For that reason, I had to consider the president's memory and overall mental state and how a jury likely would perceive his memory and mental state in a criminal trial. These are the types of issues that prosecutors analyze every day. And because these issues were important to my ultimate decision, I had to include a discussion of them in my report to the Attorney General. The evidence and the president himself put his memory squarely at issue. We interviewed the president and asked him about his recorded statement, quote, "I just found all the classified stuff downstairs," end quote. He told us that he didn't remember saying that to his ghostwriter. He also said he didn't remember finding any classified material in his home after his vice presidency. And he didn't remember anything about how classified documents about Afghanistan made their way into his garage. My assessment in the report about the relevance of the president's memory was necessary and accurate and fair. Most importantly, what I wrote is what I believe the evidence shows and what I expect jurors would perceive and believe. I did not sanitize my explanation, nor did
he disparage the president, he goes on to say. Ouch. And what did he find? He found documents everywhere. Everywhere.
Mr. Hur, classified documents were found at the Penn Biden Center?
That's correct.
They were found in President Biden's garage?
In Wilmington, Delaware, yes.
And in his basement den?
Also in the same home, yes.
In his main floor office?
Correct.
And his third floor den?
Correct.
At the University of Delaware?
Correct.
And at the Biden Institute?
Correct.
Oh, that's not good at all. That's really bad. He had documents spread out everywhere. Not only did he have documents spread out everywhere, but his ghostwriter, who he collaborated with, tried to delete information about Joe Biden sharing classified information with him.
Biden, this is a quote, Joe Biden risked serious damage to America's national security when he shared information with his ghostwriter. Shared it with his ghostwriter, the guy who was helping Joe Biden get $8 million. And oh, by the way, Mr. Herr, what did that ghostwriter do with the information Joe Biden shared with him on his laptop? What did he do after you were named special counsel?
Chairman, if you're referring to the audio recordings that Mr. Zwanitzer created of his conversations with
Exactly
Mr. Biden,
what I'm referring to.
He slid, if I remember correctly, he slid those files into his recycle bin on his computer.
Tried to destroy the evidence, didn't he?
Correct.
The very guy who was helping Joe Biden get the $8 million, Joe Biden had used the motive for Joe Biden to disclose classified information, to retain classified information, which he definitely knew was against the law. When you get
that was Jim Jordan speaking there with Robert Herr. And yeah, Robert Herr says that the ghostwriter tried to slide the information to his recycle bin. The reason he's not getting prosecuted is because in that particular case, he says he did seem to have some credible explanation that what he was doing wasn't actually intended to be some sort of violation of the law. He intended or had innocent explanations for what was going on. But not only did Joe Biden not have innocent explanations for what was going on, Joe Biden lied. Jerry Nadler is a Democrat, tried to run defense for Joe Biden on this issue, and then had Matt Gaetz in respond. Listen to the juxtaposition here. This is Jerry Nadler asking questions about Joe Biden lying, and then Matt Gaetz, and of course, Robert Herr uses legalese here.
At any point in your investigation, did you have any reason to believe that President Biden lied to you?
I do address in my report one response the president gave to a question that we had posed to him that we deemed to be not credible.
Not credible, not credible. That was Jerry Nadler asking, do you think Biden lied to you? He says there was something not credible. So then Matt Gaetz followed up with this.
February 8th, the White House question, Mr. President, why did you share classified information with your ghostwriter? The president, I did not share classified information. I did not share it. I guarantee I did not. That's not true, is it, Mr. Herr?
That is inconsistent with the findings based on the evidence in my report.
Yeah, so it's a lie, is just what regular people would say, right? Yeah, all right. So the next one. And all the stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked. That wasn't true either, was it?
That was inconsistent with the findings of our investigation.
Another lie, people might say, right?
Y'all, the media can spin this all they want. This isn't good. You've got Joe Biden trying to destroy documents. You've got his ghostwriter trying to delete evidence. You've got a recording of Joe Biden. Remember, key detail in the Trump classified documents trial is we've got Donald Trump with the ghostwriter, the ghostwriter who it was with Mark Meadows. And that ghostwriter asked or has the audio tape of Donald Trump sharing classified information and knowing it was classified information with the ghostwriter. You hear the audio tape there. But so what's interesting here is we also have that sort of exchange with Joe Biden, where you've got the audio of him sharing, knowing classified information with a ghostwriter, and in fact, telling the ghostwriter where some of the information is. And of course, it's remarkable where all the information is hidden. Again, he's got it all over the place. It's just remarkable the number of places Joe Biden was able to keep all of his documentation.
Mr. Hur, classified documents were found at the Penn Biden Center?
That's correct.
They were found in President Biden's garage?
In Wilmington, Delaware, yes.
And in his basement den?
Also in the same home, yes.
And his main floor office?
Correct.
And his third floor den?
Correct.
At the University of Delaware?
Correct.
And at the Biden Institute?
Correct.
My goodness, that's a lot of classified information kept in all sorts of places. Now, the Democrats, of course, are noting that there's no attempt to prosecute him. And this goes back, as Robert Hur says in his testimony, that he's not going to prosecute him because he doesn't believe that people would find Joe Biden credible on the stand, that his memory was so bad that jurors wouldn't convict him based on his memory. The kind of funny juxtaposition here is that the Democrats want to attack him, Robert Hur, for his characterizations of Joe Biden's memory, and the reality is that those characterizations of Joe Biden's memory have kept him from being prosecuted, and the Republicans are mad at Robert Hur for not prosecuting Joe Biden. So he's asked, Robert Hur is, if Joe Biden is innocent. Listen to this exchange here.
Correct.
In this case, did you reach a conclusion that this man was outright innocent?
That conclusion is not reflected in my report, sir.
This man is innocent. That conclusion is not reflected in the report. This isn't good. The media is going into super spin mode, allowing on the Biden team to go after the memory records, but we've now got the transcript. Joe Biden couldn't remember what a fax machine was. Joe Biden couldn't remember dates. Joe Biden was dwelling on 2017, 2018, that was when Beau Biden was sick or deployed, not dying, sick or deployed. He actually died in 2015. It was Joe Biden who brought it up to talk about in 2017, 2018, why things were so chaotic and why there were these classified documents. Beau Biden had been dead for several years. This is a pretty damning indictment of President Biden's memory problems. Not only that, a pretty damning indictment of Joe Biden's handling of classified materials over 40 years, spread through multiple locations, going back to the time he was in the United States Senate. There's no good way to put lipstick on this pig for the Democrats. Now, obviously, it's political. They're going to try, and they're going to have a national press corps try to help them as much as they can. But the facts are not in dispute here. Joe Biden couldn't remember very basic details, got years wrong when his son was sick and dying, tried to use his son's sickness and deployment as excuses for why he did things, even though the guy was already dead by then. None of this is good. It comes off the high. The media tried to rebuild Joe Biden as the comeback kid after the State of the Union. And now the truth comes out. The man has serious problems when it comes to his memory. These are damning things.